What's going on, penny boys and gals? It is MetaMatt here, and in this one we'll be talking about Hustlers University, which is Andrew Tate's cryptocurrency program. I brought on full-time NFT and crypto influencer Cade Bergman. He's heavily involved in the YouTube space and keeps up to date with all the YouTube news. This is actually just part of an interview. The full interview is actually over on MetaMatt TV YouTube. Since this is a trading channel, I put the parts where we talked about NFTs and cryptocurrency, as well as Andrew Tate's university, over here on this channel, and kept all the talk about Andrew Tate, Jake Paul, and Logan Paul over on MetaMatt TV. If you haven't already checked that out, that's MetaMatt TV on TikTok and YouTube. Talk about all things trending, be it politics, science, news, tech, or even celebrity gossip. So before we get into the interview, I'm going to be playing a clip from MetaMatt TV, which kind of just goes over who Andrew Tate is and what this is all about. Logan and Jake Paul seem to be two of the only YouTubers who are not afraid of Andrew Tate.
Can I beat the shit out of Andrew fucking Tate?
100%.
Jake Paul stated, I don't think he gets in the ring with one of us.
Come on, he's a top G.
Nah, I don't think he would fight us.
Come on.
I think it's too big of a risk for him. And
Why?
I mean, because he's alpha male, right?
Top
That's his
G.
whole entire thing. And when he
Ooh.
loses, he will lose to one of us, either one of us that he fights. His whole shtick goes out the window.
Logan Paul doesn't think that Tate's relevancy will last long enough to make the fight worth it for the Paul brothers.
When I'm shopping the idea around to my advisors, they're concerned that he won't be as poppin' as he is right now or as relevant in December or January.
Jake then went on to rip into Tate's fanboys.
He runs with this whole thing like, what color is your Bugatti? It's not cool to tell kids that they need a Bugatti to be cool. My Bugatti that I have is in a Morgan Stanley bank account, compounding interest and hundreds of millions of dollars. So that's cooler than having a fucking Bugatti. And all these little fanboys, they're pissed off at girls because they've never gotten laid. And they think by being this alpha male and copying this douchebag who wears giant fucking aviators indoors, and they're watching him to try to get laid, but they're going to get spit on and slapped by a girl. That's what's going to happen.
Andrew Tate became relevant to mainstream media this year. He operates a webcam studio using girls as employees, which has brought controversy due to his misogynistic statements on the show. He also set up the controversial Hustlers University, where there are lessons about dropshipping and cryptocurrency. Members gain commission for recruiting others and are encouraged to post large numbers of videos of Tate all over social media. Tate hasn't seemed scared of the Paul brothers in the past.
Quickly address the chat because everyone keeps saying Tate versus Paul, blah, blah, blah. I saw he did a call out video, but he doesn't have a Bugatti. I offered to buy him one. I'm from a different world. Like all these YouTubers and stuff, they grew up in America, now they're YouTubers. Cool. I made my money on the streets. I'm living out here.
If Logan or Jake were to face off against Tate, who do you think would win?
So I've seen a lot of people cover it because I wanted to know if it was bullshit too. And it sounds like it's just a generic online course situation. So, I mean, you're going to get as much as you would out of any online course. It's going to have structured content. You're going to have a very structured plan of how to accomplish a goal, whatever your goal is to learn. But I don't think it's anything revolutionary at all, what he portrays it to be. People think it's going to be him teaching stuff, right? And
right. Answered my question exactly. To me, that's a scam. Because it's not all these guys, all these personalities, who don't have time to actually teach people. They make this program, which is basically the same cookie cutter courses, just saying, do this, do that, here's, Investopedia for you or whatever. And then they're like, all right, and good luck. You're on your own. Cause we don't have time for you. It's not a real, university, because universities, you have teachers, you have people who are there for you. You have after school help if you need it. Like, there's a big difference between selling this thing as a university and just having it. It's a cookie cutter, like all the big YouTubers have them. So for me, that's a scam. I mean, it's just 100%. Him putting his name on another bullshit program that's get rich quick kind of scheme.
And I think he believes it is the thing. Like I think he does believe that it is the best thing ever. And it's funny, like I think Jake and Logan talked about some of the tactics. They have this thing where if you try and quit, they just like it's like badger you. They're like, you're lazy as fuck. Like, yeah, you're gonna quit, blah, blah, and all these things. And it's pretty wild. But that's, I don't know, man.
Literally the obvious. Like that's literally why we made our universe. Like why we made PB University, because exactly that. Like when people are ready to quit, we're like, hey, we get it. Like we've been there. It's fucking hard. Trading is hard, and to anyone who tries to tell them it's easy is fucking bullshitting. It's a scam. So anyway, we're not going off of trading though. I know he's a big kickboxer. That was his whole thing before. You want to call it influencing or whatever he's doing now. I know he's still new to it. He's not he's not like a Logan or a Jake Paul, but he is big now, and people are talking, putting him on that same spectrum of the Jake Paul, Logan Pauls when it comes to different boxing events, all this YouTube influencer fighting, boxing. Jake Paul was saying that he doesn't think that Andrew Tate called them both out or whatever, but Jake Paul thinks that when it comes down to it, he won't actually accept a fight. That Tate is not necessarily afraid, but it's just not worth it for him. There's just too much
Yeah.
risk if he loses, because his reputation is new and paper thin. Is based off of being a top G and being tough, and I'm the alpha, and if he gets his ass kicked by Jake Paul, some YouTuber who in theory has less fighting experience than him, there goes his whole persona. Logan Paul is also saying he went to his advisors, and his advisors basically told him like, hey, this might not be worth it for us to promote this whole fight, when in January or February of next year this guy is going to be a nobody again, just like all these other flash in the pans. So do you think that there's any merit behind what they're saying, or do you think they're just talking trash?
Honestly, I didn't really think about the fact that Tate would go irrelevant until Logan brought it up in a random 2-second clip where he was like, if you think Andrew Tate will be around in 7 to 8 months, you are sadly mistaken. So because Logan Paul said that about him potentially going irrelevant, I was like, oh, that's actually really interesting. He's so big right now that I didn't think he could go irrelevant in a few months. But then I realized he's already in the last month or so, he's not slowing down, but it's to the point where we've kind of heard everything he's got to say. We've heard his stance on everything. So it's kind of like he's just kind of, it's an echo room now. And now we're starting to see the derivatives of Andrew Tate. We're starting to see this Sneeko. He's like an 18-year-old version of Andrew Tate. It's fucking the same thing. So it's fine. I mean, I don't know if it's real or not, but anyways, he's doing the same thing. We're going to start to see the exact same cycle. So it was sad for me because it's like, oh, maybe this guy's like different. Maybe this guy is the one that he's going to, in a few months, he's going to come out and it's going to be like really helpful, and he's going to stick around and he's going to contribute things. And now I'm like, wait a minute, he might just be the next con artist style of character that has some good qualities, has some really shit qualities, and like that's about the story. And then in 9 months we won't have heard of him again. I think in the way he's blown up is very much like NFTs. Like it's kind of has a lot of attention up early, and then it kind of slows down a little bit. I think people after 8 or 9 months, like, okay, this course may or may not be good. I don't know if it's good or not. I think right now it's good because everyone makes, I heard it's either 25 or 50% of the commission every time someone signs up using their link. So that's the way he's blowing up so fast. So I'm like if that maintains. Yeah, it's exactly a pyramid scheme, except the difference is a pyramid scheme.
Kaka, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I've done a pyramid scheme before. I've been part of it. I was in the fitness industry, so I've not me. Like I haven't done one.
I was like, that's not a good thing to say. I have an NFT project also.
Yeah, I've been part of it. And I was like,
all out.
you get like 10%. You get like 10% usually, but he's giving like 30 to 50%. I heard, and I was like, okay, well. I mean, I guess that is a pyramid scheme, but at the same time, that's way more than normal. I think it's because he's so rich.
This is my last question for you, and you could feel free to not answer this, of course. I know I've seen. I mean, you're all over, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. I've been seeing you all over the place, and of course, others have, and sometimes that might bring some haters. I've seen some people in your comments section. Some pretty prominent TikTokers in the NFT space and crypto space.
Oh yeah.
Not only like there was Crypto Sage, it was one of them. I know he was I saw him, this is like a little while back, he was saying some stuff about like one of your posts, and then you were going back and forth on TikTok. And then also the High Indian just recently made a comment about your Bored Ape Yacht Club TikTok. Are there any NFT YouTubers out there, NFT TikTokers who you would go and box in a one-on-one event?
Dude, I don't remember who Crypto Sage is. Did we? I feel like I like it. Maybe I don't like him. I can't remember. I don't know. For me, I don't care. Like, okay, here's one positive that I took from Andrew Tate. When you see a character who's like deemed evil, and then maybe you have Andrew Tate on your show, the whole show is the interviewer trying to like him. They're like, look, I gotta get this guy to be normal. Like, what can I do to just have a normal connection with this guy, right? And so then Andrew Tate can just say something normal. And then the guy's like, okay, like I do fuck with this guy a little bit. Maybe I do understand him a little bit more. Now his outlandish stuff isn't as outlandish. And I realized that you can say whatever you want, and then all you have to do is just come back down a little bit. And so it's better to start off hard or start off mean and then come a little bit nicer. It's the same way like when unfortunately this is kind of the way it is, and I know people don't want to hear it, but like this is kind of the way it is when you meet up with girls. The difference between the girls who typically like or the guys who end up like sleeping with the girl in a classic Western hookup sense is that like they're just a little bit meaner. There's a little bit more mean up front, and then they start to relax a little bit. Like it's actually not even just with girls. It's like when you meet someone and they're like a little bit not as nice as you, maybe a lot of the time you're spending trying to like get them to come down to you, and so they're already at like a higher point than you. They have like the high ground or whatever. But in the sense with like TikTok, like I don't particularly care for any of them to like me. And this came from Colby Covington when they asked him like, are you like, why are you starting all these fights with people? Like, why do you not care about anyone? Why aren't you being nice to anyone? Why aren't you have friends in the UFC? And he's like, guys, I don't care. He's like, I do not want to be friends with these people. He's like, it doesn't make a difference to me. It's like, in what other fucking job are you friends with your coworkers? And I was like, okay, that's actually a good point. Like, there's not that many jobs where you'd be friends with all your coworkers. They're just normal people who are doing their own thing. They work in the company, whatever. And I realized that it's not really about them liking you or agreeing with you. It's just about the fact that you want people to be commenting. They just want people to, like, if your name isn't in the news, if your name isn't being brought up in other podcasts, not good. That means you're not that relevant. And I think there's a line for me. I don't care to break into the category of being an absolute jackass, because I want to still be known as someone who's like respected, and the respect's always the top thing. But I don't much care about people who like disagree. Like, I want to see, but I've been able to like separate my emotions from it a little bit more. So if someone attacks me or something, or says you're wrong about this, you're a fucking asshole for this, I immediately go to the entertainment factor. I'm like, okay, how can I make this more of a thing than it is? Just to piss them off a little bit more, to get them to make a response. Then I can make a response and people can follow this narrative. But I don't care that much. You know, maybe I care for 5 minutes, and then the next day I look back and I'm like, why the fuck did I even make that response? I don't even care. So I'm trying to think if there's anyone in the NFT space I would box. Definitely not this Indian dude, but the man's like 5'3". He's like 120 pounds. I have no intention of fighting that guy, the Indian high Indian, whatever. I don't know anything about the Crypto Sage guy. I don't think I don't like him.
I could be wrong. I could have sworn that he made a. He
maybe did. Some people don't agree with my takes.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Some people don't agree with my takes, and I'm okay with that. Here's why I don't care. I've done the review. I did all the research already. They didn't. I'm like, all right, show me the review. Show me where you did a full in-depth breakdown on the Bored Ape the entire ecosystem. Well, I know I've done research. Okay, what have you actually done? You follow their Twitter account. You know what they did, but you don't actually know anything about what they've done. You don't know anything about their founders. You don't know their come-up story. You don't know what happened. I do. So I'm like, for me, there's no imposter syndrome here. There's no situation here where they know more about the topic than I do, because I'm literally the researcher. Like, I've done all the information searching, and I've done the rabbit holes in all these projects. So when they're like, this is a terrible take because CloneX is this and that, I'm like, I know, dude. I did the full breakdown. I know exactly what they're doing, and I'm still not impressed. That's why I have this opinion. So when they have their opinion, it's like, that's fine. But I did the research, so it's not like I'm sitting there going, oh, maybe they're right. It's like, no, like, we both done the research. Maybe I'll even give them that. We both did the research. I just came to a different conclusion. It doesn't fucking matter if they believe it or not. It doesn't affect my brand. It doesn't make me more money or less money if they agree with me or not. It doesn't matter. So if there's anyone I would fight in the NFT world, honestly, it wouldn't be anyone in the NFT world. I don't really have a problem with any of them. It's so early too. Like, I don't know who's the scammers. I don't know who's real. I don't know who's legit still. And I don't know who's going to be here. I don't know who's going to actually matter in the next 3 months. We've already seen multiple TikTokers drop off entirely. It would honestly probably just be, I'm trying to think of someone who sucks. Oh, fuck. I don't know, man. It would have to be someone who like is the classic crypto influencer who pumps and dumps. I just don't know who they are. Who's someone that sucks?
Sucks.
Here's one that's interesting. I'm not like sold on him entirely. All my friends like him. It's the people who sell the online courses, the financial guru people. So like Sebastian George, whatever his name is one of these people, right? And I've heard his life story, because there are certain videos that he made where I'm like, this guy sounds like a sellout. But then I watch his video, I'm like, but I like him. I like his personality. I feel like it's coming from a genuine place. But one thing that I've learned in the past year is that you truly are not defined by what you think you are, and the way you treat yourself and the things you say about yourself. You are only defined by what you do. Like, it doesn't matter what your intent is. If your intent is all these things, but then you fucking do the opposite, like you pull a BoJack Horseman, you say, I want to change, but then you fucking do everything wrong and you don't actually do anything. It's like, are you a good person? And I remember in that show, he asked his friend, he's like, I need you to tell me I'm a good person. You believe I'm a good person, right? Like, I'm a good person. And she's like, look, like, yeah, but like, no, you're not. And he's like, wait, what? Like, it was like a shock to him. He's like, what do you mean I'm not? I was like, I am a good person. He's like, no, like, you're not. Look at what you've done in the past year. You're not a good person. Like, you've done all these horrible things. How are you a good person? How are you a good person? And he was just like, fuck, like, I guess I'm not. Like, that was kind of like a weird realization. It's the same with people who don't put in the work. If you don't actually show up to the gym, you cannot get in shape. So you can think about getting to the gym, you can watch all the fitness videos, but if you don't show up and do it, you're literally not going to be fit. And it's the exact same for like all these other people. So with someone like a Sebastian Giorgio or whatever his last name is, he's the only person that comes to mind because I've seen him promote a couple of projects that ended up being total shams. And I've kind of lost respect in that sense. But I've heard his life story. I know he comes from like a really shitty home life. He made everything for himself. I just don't know the details. So it's possible he made all his money and got out of the life situation that sucked. And all these good things that spawned from it, like retiring his mom or like giving him like her money. I forget what happened exactly. All these good things came from it. But it's like, where did that money come from? Was it slimy? Was he getting money, basically scamming people, but kind of not doing a course similar to Tristan Tate? I don't know. If it was to be that, he's really the only person that comes to mind. But I don't even fucking know him that well. But there's no one really in the crypto NFT sphere that I know of that sucks entirely. I don't watch them that much, I guess. So
Right. That's
yeah,
fair.
it's like a long short answer.
You're like, I like everyone.
I don't know. They don't suck that bad. Like, like, do you know anyone who's like just absolutely sucks in the NFT crypto space?
There's some like they're just like I don't even know the names anymore, but like the stock trading YouTubers for me are like the big ones who sell like you just said, who sell those, pumping them courses or whatever. Like for me, it's those kind of people.
Yeah, I just don't watch them, so I
just
don't know
watch
them
them anymore. Exactly. I
Yeah.
started watching them, so it's like I don't even know who they are anymore.
I've never watched videos like how to make money like that. Like the only people I watched to make money was Journey Crypto and Benjamin Cohen, but they did it in a very conservative, boring way. They're like, here's how the market's going, here's what you should be thinking about it, here's where things matter, here's where things don't. But they're very in the middle. I never watched people who were like, here's how to make money tomorrow, like here's how to make a 20x. I never watched these videos, so I don't know who those characters are. And even if I did, I truly believe they think that they're helping. Like I really do think that 90% of them think that they're helping. And so that's why I'm glad like CoffeeZilla exists. Like I'm excited to see how he fucking. I'm surprised he hasn't jumped into the NFT sphere better and bigger, but I think he will. I heard rumblings.
The Lana Rhodes one.
True. I think he's gonna start. Though into the more crypto NFT native people, and I'm very interested. I think there's an allude to him potentially doing one on Brett Malinowski, our boy Brett Malinowski from the Magic Mushroom Clubhouse, the CEO of WGMI Media, is potentially going to do a breakdown on him. He's been in like the past 3 videos just in the background of certain clips, and I'm like, fuck, dude, he might be coming for Brett. And there's a lot of there's a lot of chit chatter about
Brett's
him.
The head of WGMI Media.
Yeah, he's the CEO.
And they're thinking of doing you think CoffeeZilla is going to do a video on him?
Oh, there's a lot of people saying he's going to because potentially he's been part of promoting projects or like helping out projects before mint just to sell them out and then like dropped off and disassociated from them. So just pulling like another typical influencer thing. I don't know if they're true or not, but apparently like one of the rumblings is that he's done it for like 20 different projects and he just hasn't said anything publicly about it. And that puts him in a very sticky situation as the CEO of WGMI Media. I don't know if it's true though. I just have been hearing things he might cover it. So but the thing is, if CoffeeZilla covers Brett and calls him a scammer, and he pulls up all this evidence of it, if it's true or not, dude, that will fucking completely dismantle WGMI Media, because WGMI Media is literally trying to onboard new companies and business. If he loses his credibility and it comes out that this stuff is true, it's gonna be a very bad time, dude. Especially because they have an NFT project, and a lot of people aren't happy with the NFT project because they're like, this is just a show. This is just a media company. Like, where's this money going to? And they're trying to slowly build and all these things. But his background is in flipping. Like, that's where 90% of his client base and viewers come from, was his flipping videos back in the day. And then in the last 3 or 4 months, he started to shift into building and how to sell out NFT projects. He's done it for a few of his friends and stuff like that, like Squishy Squad. He's done it for, I don't even know. He did it for his own project. He started doing it for other companies and stuff like that. And so I don't know if it's true, but if it is, dude, that's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly.
That'd be huge for the NFT space, especially as far as the media stuff goes. So, they definitely
it would
have
be crazy.
Pretty big.
He's definitely he's definitely like in the top 3 big creators in the space. So that would be a hit. I don't know if it's true. Same with like Sebastian. Like, I don't know if these talks about them helping out with like scam projects are true or not, because we don't know. Like, they literally made it so that no one would ever know. It's just what people are saying through the grapevine. So I'm just here to deliver that information.
I know WGMI Media's Andres was calling out Crypto Mason. So who do you think? Who do you got in a boxing match if the 2 of them were to go after it? Go at it.
Oh my god, dude. Crypto Mason, that's funny as fuck. I don't know Crypto Mason that well. I've watched a lot of his TikToks. I guess he's on YouTube too. Yeah. And I've heard a lot of people say he's very contradictory to himself. He'll say something, then say something else. And I think it's one of those that, like, when you're streaming every single day and things are changing left and right all the time, you just say stuff that goes left and then you say the next thing that goes right. And who knows? Like, I don't know his intentions. I don't know him that well. But if Andres is gonna fight Crypto Mason, dude, fuck. I don't know. I feel like Andres would win, because Andres, like, I feel like Andres has some untapped anger that he could tap into. I think he definitely has an anger he could tap into.
Nice guy.
He's a nice guy, but underneath every nice guy is some serious anger that I think he could tap into for sure. Like I know it's down there. Crypto Mason, I think that kid's too rich. I don't think he needs it. I don't think he cares. I've seen his videos. He's very nonchalant. I think Andrew S would probably beat Crypto Mason just because I don't think Andrew. I don't know. Crypto Mason is so tall and lanky, dude. He's not like an athlete. Andrew just looks like he would just attack him, continuously attack him, like body slam, do whatever he's got to do to rip the kid's head off.
Like
and Crypto Mason would
WWE.
just be like, Crypto Mason would just be like, yo, can we just stream? Can we start streaming already? Like it's 2:00. I gotta stream on YouTube or TikTok.
Oh, gee. Well, there you have it. You got your money on Andres.
Yeah, I got to back up my boy Andres. Plus, he's my friend. I know him way more than Mason. I know him a little bit, but not really.
Oh, I know you got your Tea Time with Tom coming up. Where can viewers find you on YouTube and view that and all your other content?
It's just Cade Bergman. You can see my I don't know if my name will be on the screen, but it's just my name everywhere. You can just type that in. Actually, that's my Twitter name. So if you're trying to find me on YouTube, that's where we stream Tea Time. Just type in Cade Bergman, just 2 words, and then Tea Time, or just go to my channel and you'll find it all there. But you can type that in. I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, barely on LinkedIn. Fucking like that. I just cannot get all the way in on LinkedIn, dude.
I hate LinkedIn.
I hate it so much.
I hate it. Oh well. I hated TikTok at first too, so who knows?
Yeah.